everybody. I'm Mike. You have to unmute yourself, Maria.
Mic is off. Sorry, guys. Hello, I'm Maria, and I'm joining today's episode from the beautiful island of Boracay. Well, you don't see it, but I am here. It's too windy outside and really, really hot. Hi, Mike.
Yes. I'm of course, immensely jealous that you are so far away, but you deserve to have a break. So, but here it's chilly. It's around 20 degrees Celsius. So the more that we are approaching the final of the Burr months, it's getting a bit cooler. Yeah.
Okay.
How's the weather out there? Is it currently like?
As expected, we do have light rain showers for the last few days, but now it's extremely humid and and extremely hot during the day. But all is well. And I'm very excited for today's episode, Mike, because we will be joining by the cast and director of the film We Don't Dance for Nothing. Yay!
Yes, nice.
And
so, yes, Maria, this is Daring Debut of Chinese Greek-American director Stefanos Tai. We Don't Dance for Nothing is the first film of its kind, yes.
Really daring, I like that.
Yes, it's captured during a political revolution. And during the pandemic in Hong Kong, this hybrid film combines real events, remembered personal narratives, and stage dances to showcase a vibrant yet forgotten community of Filipino women, which are around 400,000 in Hong Kong. Of course, it's way more, millions globally, and offer an unseen point of view on events that dominated global headlines. So described as Chris Marker's La Jetée, and which meets La La Land, WDDFN, which is abbreviation, and its use of stills versus motion represent a bold new way of filmmaking. So one which invites the viewer to viscerally experience the characters' lives of entrapment by their circumstances and the release towards freedom when they dance. So they have the freedom when they dance. By portraying these women beyond their job descriptions with all the talent, color, and grace they embody, we show the world exactly why they dance.
And of course, for the benefit of those who doesn't know, Mike, an overseas Filipino or overseas Filipino worker, or OFW, is a term used to refer to a person of Filipino origin who resides outside the Philippines. This term applies to Filipinos who are abroad as permanent residents in a different country, as well as to those who are abroad for a limited period of time for employment or education. According to the International Labor Organization, there are approximately 11 million Filipinos overseas, and perhaps much higher now, because that number was given in 2020.
Okay, yep, that's right, Maria. And we also, of course, have OFWs here in Germany as well, especially the frontliners of our modern, which are our modern heroes during the pandemic. Yes, so our first guest, Maria, is a Chinese Greek-American director raised by dancers in New York. His works are intensely anthropological, and he spends years immersing himself in the community before daring to show its complexity and grace on screen. So his debut feature is the combination of many dialogues and remembrances with Filipina domestic workers in Hong Kong. Through the combination of still images, recreated real events, and high-octane dance scenes, the film is the world's first hybrid photo montage feature. So his shorts have screened at Tribeca, BAM, Cinequest, Savannah, Woodstock, Harvard, and others. He also directed branded content in the Google Creative Lab and TBWA, which is a very funny, when I read it, it's a very funny yeah, combination of words, maybe that later. The clients include Brigitte, Hennessy, Kipling, Lee and Fung, and the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Welcome to TalkAlley, Director Stefanos Tai. Thank you for taking time. Hello.
Hi, Maria. Hi. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us.
Very
Very
impressive.
excited to talk.
Thank you. Yeah.
Audio is fine? Okay,
Yeah, audio is
great.
fine, yes.
So welcome to TalkAlley. And of
Thank
course,
you so much.
yes, we will get back to you, Stephanos. And now Mike, our next guest, is an up-and-coming Filipino performer in Hong Kong. Acting since the age of 7. And prior to her work in film, she has appeared in several drama television shows, musicals, and online ads, and was featured in the Philippines ABS-CBN Star Hunt. Oh, my friend Dean was in Star Hunt. Maybe they know each other. Upon moving to Hong Kong, she was immediately welcomed by several Filipino church choir groups in the city. And WDDFN is her effort to represent her community with pride. Through acting, her goal is to inspire and entertain all kinds of audiences, bringing Asian representation to the big screen. Welcome to TalkAlley, Miles Sible. Hello, Miles.
Hello from
Miles.
Hong Kong.
Hey, Miles.
Thank you for being with us.
Star Hunt. Interesting. Maybe you're familiar with Dean Icalina. Or
With
maybe
who?
not.
Sorry.
Dean Icalina.
Oh, I know.
He
Sorry.
used to co-host with me. He was also, a Star Hunt customer.
Oh wow.
But wow. Okay,
Yes.
welcome to the
And
show.
And last but not least is a performer best known for her supporting role in 2019's Still Human, which picked up several accolades at the Hong Kong Film Awards. In the years following, she has been cast in several Hong Kong-based and international productions, most recently Lulu Wang's upcoming Amazon series. Off-screen, Saisa has been a champion for the Filipino community in Hong Kong and globally through her work with causes Empower You, Christian Action, Rise and Race, The Roof, Juan for the Visayas. In her portrayal of Sampa, she brings her experience as a single mother to create a character at once familiar within the DW community, yet illuminative to external audiences of the complex struggles these women face laboring far from home, raising the children of another woman. Welcome to TalkAlley, Saisa Kada. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Saisa, on the
Hi.
boat right now.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little dark here. I hope you guys still can see me.
Yes,
We
we
can
hear
still
you
hear.
perfectly.
Okay, so
Hi.
hello,
So,
welcome all to Talk. But
Yes.
Mike, before we
let me unmute for the time she is responding. So thank you for everyone for being with us today. Before we begin asking our guests questions, Maria, of course, this episode is brought to you by Amazing Pure Organic Barley, which provides you with stamina and vigor to survive long hours of work and play. For inquiries, please contact Miss Jess Esquilio. You may also email her at jess@esquilio.de for more information.
I am Maritoni Fernandez, and we are in the middle of a barley field here in Swan Hill, Australia.
Well, we think we have the best barley in the world because of our clean irrigation water. Water comes from the Murray River, which is a freshwater river. All our drinking water comes from the Murray River too. So it's full of nutrients, and also the climate is perfect for growing winter cereals. Clean, green, certified organic.
Yeah, we're certified with NASA, which is one of the Australian certifications for organic. IAM Worldwide gets its barley grass powders from Herbal, which sources them from us at NutriGreen, so you're guaranteed the best barley grass powders in the world.
I am truly proud to say that we are now the sole distributor in the Philippines for NutriGreen Barley.
Amazing pure organic barley provides you with stamina and vigor to survive long hours of work and play. For inquiries, please contact Ms. Jess Esquilio, jess@esquilio.de for more information. So, before we begin, let's watch this video.
What do you remember? There were so many of us. For just a few hours every week, we were free. You were meant for more. I had to run. Still, you danced. She made you believe. Would you miss me? Please stay.
Wow.
So yes, first of all, I know you have been probably asked about this many times, but I do want to know what inspired you to create the film We Don't Dance for Nothing, Stefanos.
A lot of different things inspired it. I would say the main thing are just the domestic workers that I met in Hong Kong. It sounds so obvious, but to me, they were an inspiration and they are heroes to me, really. The way that they display resilience in their lives, as we all know, their lives are not always easy. But walk through Hong Kong on Sunday, and now that I've taken the film a bit to different places, I've realized it's not just Hong Kong, but everywhere that OFWs live. Sunday seems to be this beautiful release of joy and energy that is inspirational to anyone who sees it. So I was shocked that there wasn't a film about this, particularly about this, right? Because there's films about their struggles, but I wanted to make something about their joy also. And that continues to inspire me every time I see those parties. They're amazing.
Okay. What did you do in order to understand the life of OFWs in Hong Kong?
Well, I was very lucky that they were very approachable. And so I would speak to them. I would make a fool of myself, dance with them. I would share food with them. They'd ask me questions about where I come from in my life, and I would ask them about theirs. But what always seemed consistent was that they were almost surprised that I was asking them these questions, as if no one in the city was interested in their lives or their talents. And that was shocking to me, because to me, they're the most obvious subjects of a film. They're the most attention, like they instantly captured my attention and imagination. So I couldn't imagine why anyone else wouldn't care about them. So it was a lot of conversations. It was a lot of just general socializing, a lot of dancing, of course. But then there was also a research side of it, which was asking very targeted questions, reading books, reading everything that I could find in the news, on TV. But it was all very one-dimensional. It was always statistics and human rights reports, which are fine and good, but there was nothing about the energy and the joy. And that's why we made this film, really.
As I was watching the trailer, of course, you mentioned about human rights, the workers' rights, the workers' living conditions. You also included the issue about the LGBT community, which was represented by Saibal and Saisa. Were you prepared or aware of the political impact that this film might bring to the community? It is already bringing the community, but what's your point of view on that, Stefanos? And of course, my question extends to Saibal and Saisa as well. Yes, Stefanos?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think we wanted to show what we were observing in real life. And you would see many of these it's a community of hundreds of thousands of women. Of course, you're going to see some romantic relationships, and you're going to see some ambiguous relationships that are friendships on paper, but they look like they're a bit more than that. They look romantic in nature. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was something that I couldn't frame that out. Similar to the protest, it was there in front of us. We felt obligated to show it in the beautiful way that we saw it. And so that's sort of my point of view on it. There's no real, I don't really have like an agenda, I guess, but that was, maybe Saiza and Miles can give you a different answer, but that was my point of view at least.
Okay. How about you, Miles?
Thank you.
For me, at first, I didn't really know about the whole story of the film, because when we first did this, we only did like 2 scenes, a short version of the film. So my only purpose before was just to act, because I haven't been acting for so long. So I really waited for this opportunity to be able to act again and pursue my passion. But then as we were filming and when we finished the film, I just realized how important the message of our movie is. It makes people think about how they look at our domestic workers. And also, when we screened this film internationally, like in Korea and Canada, I think it was nice to hear their opinions and their reactions, because not everyone knows about the situation of the domestic workers in Hong Kong. They don't really have an idea. So it was really interesting to see their observations and their reactions.
Yeah, of course, the film doesn't only show the OFWs, and as I've mentioned, it also showcased the LGBT aspect of the film, which, of course, in the Philippines is still, well, you can say tolerated, but not really, since the SOGA bill has not been approved for more than a decade of being proposed. So, how do you prepare for this, Miles?
For this one, I had a lot of meetings with Stefanos and we would talk about my life and then the struggles that I had here in Hong Kong. And then for the LGBT part, I don't think I really have to prepare for that. Yeah, because I think they're also human being. They fall in love, I don't think I have to change the way I act or like act a certain way to be able to portray this character. I think what our main goal was, how can we humanize this character?
Yes, it should be normalized according to the view that these situations are normal and not exactly. So, question, Stefanos, what was the biggest challenge in directing? I mean, it was filmed during the pandemic and during the, where there were a lot of things happening in Hong Kong. How did you prepare, and what was your biggest challenge doing this film? It was crazy. We were watching it on television.
Yeah, I mean, there were many challenges. Of course, the protest and the pandemic were big challenges. Also, it's I think the doing it right was a challenge for me, because I don't speak Tagalog, and so it's almost, I know there's many directors who wouldn't even try. Many directors who would only want to tell a story in a language they are natively speaking, or even there's directors I know who only want to tell stories about their community. And I understand why, because I think it's important to represent properly. But I also think that if we only stay in our comfort zone, we don't learn, and we don't afford other people the opportunity to learn, and also it reduces the amount of compassion overall, I think. And I think if you can tell a story with compassion, you'll find a way to get the cultural sensitivities right. And so for me, what that meant was knowing what I'm able to do. I'm able to say the shot should be like this, and this is the story, and here's the script and the scene. But what I'm certainly not able to do is tell Miles or Saiza, say it like this. not even a language I speak, right? And so I had to get out of the way and give them a lot of freedom to represent their own people properly, and also they, in their own way, because Miles and Size are not domestic workers, they're performers, they're actors. They had to, in their own way, get out of the way, and we had to really let the community dictate how the conversations would go, and subtitling and all these things. So it was definitely a challenge, but I think I learned a lot, and I'm proud that we took this on. Because it wasn't easy for sure.
Okay. What was the most challenging part that you both have to do in making the film, Saisa and Saibo? Let's start with Saisa first.
Yeah, hi, I'm back.
Hi.
So I think the most challenging part is during the pandemic,
Mhm.
because we weren't we don't have that freedom to just move around Hong Kong, as like there's a really we still have to follow the restriction. So that's quite a bit of a challenge, but it's good that because with this film it's a team effort, everyone understands everything. Like we try to make sure that everyone is safe, that we still follow the protocol. Also because Stefano does not speak any of our language, so I think it's quite challenging for his part. But then, as I said, we're like family. We make sure that everyone is comfortable within the set. We help each other, and working with Stefano is just one of a kind. He's stubborn, but he tried to really get into the authentic version of of this domestic worker stories in Hong Kong. He appreciates everything, and he, for some reason, he loves the Filipino culture, and that's why we really appreciate it. There's not much challenge, to be honest. He's there for us. He's always there to support us in terms of like acting, and yeah, we really appreciate it. So I can't say much of a challenge, to be honest.
Okay. How about you, Saibo?
Yeah, for me, I think one of the challenges also is the pandemic. But at the same time, the pandemic gave me a chance to act in this film, because I wasn't supposed to do this film anymore, because I was just recently accepted in a new job. And I already told Stefanos that I couldn't do it because I cannot apply for an annual leave. But then when COVID happened, I didn't have work for half a year, so I had the time to play the character of H and attend all of the rehearsals. And also one of the challenges also is when we did the contemporary dance at the beach, because for that scene there's no lines. I didn't have another actor to act with. It was just all dancing and emotions, and we had to practice in the beach for like 3 days, or like I think for a few weekends.
Okay.
And it was already hard to dance, and it is more harder to dance in the water. But good thing our choreographers are really supportive, and also Stefanos, he was very patient. At first we had a lot of choreography for the dance, but then in the end Stefanos just gave me the creative freedom to just express myself. Yeah.
I'm not a dancer. Imagine even dancing out of the water. So I'm sure it was really extremely hard.
Yeah,
I was listening to both of you, Miles and Saisa, that it was really hard because of the pandemic. Of course, everyone was probably really scared of it, because we are usually scared of the unknown. We don't know what's happening. But there was a political revolution, and when we were watching it, in Europe, it was really, people were on the streets. There were a lot of people throwing stuff around, destroying things. People were angry. And Stefanos moving around and filming. I mean, I could not imagine how daring is that. Weren't you all scared about what's going on in Hong Kong at all, Stefanos?
Yeah, I was. Yes, I was.
up to you and say, yeah, what are you doing, or stuff like that.
No, we were scared. I mean, we
Yeah.
had to be very careful. It as Siza says, I can be a little bit stubborn sometimes.
Oh.
But and the joke is that Siza always finds a way to mention that I'm
Little.
stubborn. A little, yeah.
Little.
But it's good, he gets things done.
Yes.
Yeah,
Without,
true.
without him being stubborn, this movie won't happen. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's just a blessing in disguise that we all are one. It's just the sayings that it happens for a reason. Everything really happens for a reason. There are like some backstories behind it, but yeah, we made it after 2 years. Here we are now.
And-
If there's a word to describe it, this film is really epic. It's historical. This history.
It is historical.
It's one of a kind.
What's going on in Hong Kong is amazing. In the film, it's very epic that you were able to do all these things and connect everything to the pandemic with one film. So yeah, it's really epic.
And
So
like
Yeah.
Miles said, we had one shot, right? Because the protest, it was sort of at this weird moment of time where the protests, it seemed like we're getting a little bit quieter. It was 6 months. I think it was like until the end of 2019, just protests all the time. And then COVID came right after. There was no, it was one and then the other. And we sort of started in between this period. But it was, Miles had a little bit of time off. Everyone back then, there's no vaccine, so we were of course very worried, and we needed to take a lot of precautions. But everyone was saying COVID will last 6 months, and Cathay will resume. Like Miles will have to work again in 1 month, right? So we were like, if we're gonna shoot this, we need to shoot 20 days with Miles, and it has to be now. There's no other time. The protest, and who knows what will happen in the future with the protests. We're thinking at the time, it seemed like it could get a lot worse. It could get very violent. So it was really now or never in our minds. And like Siza says, it just sort of fell into place, like in a very miraculous way. So we're very lucky.
Indeed. So after being, a part of this film, Saisa, Miles, and Stephanos directing and creating this film, if there's a lesson, what do you think are the matters that in your personal, perspective, that the Philippine government should consider in support of the OFW?
I think that they should create programs to enhance their other skills, and also give them a chance to start their own businesses so that they could have a choice. I hope that in the future that going abroad to work would just be a choice and not something that they really need to do so that they could feed their families. Yeah.
How about
Like what Miles said, we always say this, that if there are other choices for them, I'm sure they won't leave their family behind. I'm not saying that being domestic worker is the only choice they have, but it's because there's only limited options in the Philippines, and that's why right now I think getting out of the Philippines just to be able to provide something for their family is the only option. So if there is a program for them to enhance their talents or what they can offer in the community, it will be great.
Yes, of course. I could definitely, by watching the film, the living conditions of the OFW should be taken into consideration. Watching Miles suffer in that living room is really heartbreaking. So as you can see, it's probably not only Miles. Miles must probably be representing millions of OFWs who are working all over the world, who is experienced, and we've heard stories of them being just brutally killed by their employers, abused and all that. And yes, they should work harder in extending more support for these people, for them, because they're currently the lifeblood of the country. Because
exactly,
of those OFWs,
they are the modern heroes of. They are the modern heroes, as we call. But the film is not just about domestic worker. It's relatable in any aspect of life. You know, if you've watched the movie, it's not just about it. It's like being stuck as a person, you know. And I hope that a lot of people are like, it could be an inspiration to other people.
Okay. So we have
Or a big
from
message to the government to wake up, to really wake up.
yes, right. You are right, Saisa. I support that 100%. Of course, it's not only in Hong Kong and all over the world there are OFWs who are suffering, equally suffering. And yes, maybe this brand new administration will be able to hear the calls of the OFWs who has been calling them for decades already. And yes, I hope through this show, and we have had guests coming from the administration, from the
Mm.
government. So I hope they watch this now or after and hear your voices. And of course, we have questions here from the people who are watching. Bono Bullet Smoke is asking, will the film be shown in the Philippines as well?
Yes.
Commercially, maybe in various theaters, yes.
We're not sure about theatrically, yes. Eventually, later this year, by the end of the year, it will be streaming in the Philippines. But we just, about 1 month ago, maybe, we played it in Cinemalaya in Manila,
Himalaya.
which was
Okay.
really fun. And that was our premiere in Manila. It was a lot of fun, and we had a big crowd and met a lot of really lovely people.
And another question, will it be on live platform? Is it available now? Vimeo?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
But if you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, you can stay updated, and it will be very soon available everywhere. By the end of the year, it'll be online everywhere.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for the information.
How was it working with our Philippine actors, Stefan?
It was amazing. I mean, I saw them a month ago. I missed them already, though. The the interesting thing, I think, is that most films about domestic workers, they're about, even if they show the talent of these women, it's usually a domestic worker who also does painting or poetry. But I think our film tries to show you dancers, actors, performers who also happen to be domestic workers. It's not based on their job description that we characterize them. It's based on what their dreams are and what their talents are. And I think that's in the Filipino community in Hong Kong, what I've observed as an outsider is that people like Miles and Siza, who are from the Philippines, who are not domestic workers, who are performers, they get labeled in some way or another. And I've always thought that's very strange and unfair, that if many people in Hong Kong think that if you're from Philippines, you must be a domestic worker. And of course, that's not the reality. And then even if you are a domestic worker, there's many stereotypes that you'll face, which are not, many of them are nonsense. But the talent, I cannot stress enough, the Filipino talent that I've seen in Hong Kong is amazing and unlike anything else. They're much more talented than the other folks that I've come across doing commercials and stuff, and yet they get called non-professional or amateurs. If we're just judging by quality, there's nothing non-professional about Miles or Siza or any of our actors. They, whether they've been in 10 films or just one film, or if this is their first film, the talent, the professionalism has always been through the roof. So it was fun, and it was nothing but fun from the beginning to the end, and I really miss it now. It's a lot of fun to show the film, but I do miss the few months that we were shooting together. It was like Siza says, we were like a family. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
So beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you, Stefanos.
Is really worldwide. And but the Filipinos in Hong Kong now, they're really changing things. I know one Filipino started photographer there and who just graduated.
Yeah, Saisa Bacani.
And also there are a group of rowers, dragon boat team there in the Hong Kong as well, who are also winning a lot of competition. And so we adapt. Filipinos, we really adapt, and we are changing things. And through this film, I hope that a lot of women will be, readily accept the change and grow more into a butterfly. So yeah, thank you very much, of course, Stefano, Sybil, and Saisa for being with us today. And we really appreciate of how you represented the OFWs in Hong Kong, and Stephanos, and how you made this film. And it's a love story indeed for all the women who are working away from their family. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much.
We'll have you
So-
again here on TalkAlley, Mike.
Yes, so one last thing I wanted to mention with regards to the screening here in Germany. Screening is in Germany, more precise, in Oldenburg is the Film Fest Oldenburg. Screening is on the 17th of September, 7 p.m. It's at the Cine K at the Bahnhofstrasse 11, and 18th of September, 2:30 p.m. at Casablanca Salon Johannesstraße 1. You can check out the dates also. We posted them in our comment section. Will any one of you will be there? Maybe?
I'm gonna be there. Yeah.
Stefanos.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, it's a long distance for Miles and Siza, and there's quarantine and all these things.
Mm.
But I'm in Greece right now, so it's just a short flight. So if anyone's in Oldenburg, it's a really cool festival. It's like they call it the Sundance of Europe. It's edgy, daring, and they've supported us from the beginning. So we're so excited to be joining in Germany in just
They've already
2-3
been
days.
receiving messages.
Yes.
Yeah. Come, I'd love to meet anybody. Come to Oldenburg.
Yes. It's so exciting, of course, and we're very proud. And guys, thank you very much. And if you want to get your family and friends, please do. Saisa, you first.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm on a boat, so I'm just like happening for now. Thank you so much. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
you guys
We
so
really
much.
appreciate it.
Thank
Great.
you.
Okay, thank you guys, and have a wonderful week.
Yes.
Thank
See
you. Enjoy
Thank you for your time.
Boracay.
Bye.
Bye.
Just really fun. I really
Yes.
enjoyed speaking with these wonderful people. Mike, you?
Yes, I enjoyed it a lot. I have actually seen the movie already. It's really nice. And I would, what do you call that? I would recommend it for others also.
I would definitely.
yes.
It's very passionate, and you can really feel the struggles of these women. But enough about that. We want to, let the people watch it for themselves. And
Yes, correct.
we recommend everyone to watch this film. It's really amazing, and you will be definitely proud. I felt so proud after watching it. So please do watch it. And of course, I want to say hi to my friends who are supporting right now, the Damas, the Masters. Hello to Bono, to Kai, to Yan, to Nini, who's here right now eating again, and to Tan. Stop eating. To Tan, to Phoebe. Who else did I not mention? Did I mention everyone? Yansky is mentioned. To Kat, of course. To Sebastian, to Francie. Hello, everybody. They're watching right now. Thank you very much for supporting us. Of course. Cheska and everyone else. And of course, the people who always watch us, even after this show is broadcasted. Thank you so much.
Yes,
And
thank you very much.
You want to say?
Yes, I want to thank you that you didn't leave me alone for this episode. Still be part and be my wingman, so to say.
You don't know the struggle.
Even if you're in Boracay. So,
Okay.
yeah.
We are surviving the heat right now. Actually, he asked us earlier, why did you even go there?
Yeah. If you can stand the beach.
Yeah.
But maybe you should come back here to Germany. It's just 20 degrees here. It's wonderful.
I'm looking forward to it, of course. But
Okay.
for the meantime, let me be jealous of what I have. So anyway, I'm Maria.
And I'm Mike, and this is
And
Talk
this
Alley.
is TalkAlley.
Bye.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Yes, and good start in next week. Bye.
Bye.